Morning, everyone. Good morning. A warm welcome to all our viewers. Thank you for joining us, those that are watching live, those that are watching catch up. Parshas Korach, this week's parsha, follows hot on the heels of Shlach, and the end of the parsha of last week's parsha discusses about the mitzvah of tzitzit. What's the connection between one and the other? So Rashi in this week's parsha draws our attention to an extraordinary dialogue and conversation between Moshe and Korach. Korach came with a compelling, logical argument. He said to Moshe, "You are the leader, but I want to ask you something." And they all came, all his followers and Korach were wearing a garment of tzitzit that was completely blue, instead of just one thread being blue. And he said to him, if one thread is there to remind us of the heavens and the earth and all the mitzvot. So if a whole garment is blue, do I still need a blue thread? And Moshe said yes. And it made no sense to those standing around, and they burst into laughter. They found it ridiculous. It seemed illogical, completely irrational. What exactly was Korach's claim that he made to Moshe? So he said the immortal words, Kulam Kadoshim. He said, all of the Jewish people are holy. Moshe, you have usurped the leadership role for yourself. You have monopolized power. Every single Jewish person is holy. The same way that every blue thread on here is holy, is blue, and therefore has value. Therefore, we don't need to have a single thread, a single leader. Every one of them is holy. And the response by Moshe was, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Even if you have a garment which is a blue thread throughout, which may symbolize that all the people are holy, you still need a single thread. You still need a leadership. And what Moshe was suggesting, my dear friends, is that despite the fact that you can have value in every single person, having a voice, having an opinion, nevertheless, in order to have some type of order, in order to have some type of hierarchy in society, you need to have a leader. You need to have a structure. You need to have a system. You need to have a hierarchical structure so that people are able to live and understand that there is a chain of command, that matters are passed on to higher authority. Otherwise, you end up with anarchy. Anyone and everyone can disagree. And the fact is that fundamentally, we believe that there are people that everyone's of value, but there are people that are in positions of power because they have certain strengths that others may not have. They may have specialist knowledge. They may have experience that others may not have. So although every person has a role to play, not everyone's roles are necessarily the same or equal. And that is fundamental. We all have roles in society. We all have roles in life. And everyone's role is critical. You can't just have the main actors. You have to have every actor that makes up the play of life. But nonetheless, you can't have two people doing the same roles. It doesn't work. There are some people that are born to be leaders. All the mantle of leadership is cast upon them. And they are needed in order to be able to be, as it were, the conductor of the orchestra, to produce the beautiful masterpieces of music. And that was Moshe. Moshe knew as a leader how, with his talents, his wisdom, his divine providence, divine wisdom that he received, he knew how to bring out the very best in the Jewish people. And therefore, it wasn't that Moshe said, I'm holier, I'm better than you. He just was saying to the Jewish people the same way that even if you have a garment which is totally blue, it's got tcheles throughout, you still need that single blue thread. Every one of us has value. Every one of us has a role to play. But no two people have the same role, otherwise they would be redundant. And this is critical for us to understand. We all have to make our own unique contribution, and in that way, please God, like the orchestra, we'll make the most majestic music, the music of life, and in that way, we'll create a true masterpiece. Have a great day. I'm afraid tomorrow I can't do. We'll be back on Thursday at 10.